Hello guys, this time I will go over this factoring polynomials with degree 3, and that's very easy one. So you're gonna have this polynomials that has 4 terms, and what you really have to worry is finding GCF and then at the end using difference of square. Okay, so let's do this one. Step number 1, draw the line. That line should be right before the sign. Okay, and what you have to do is you have to find the GCF of these two. So if you want to find greatest common factor, so there's hidden number 1, you gotta find what's a small number except ignoring the sign, which is 1, and 1 is just 1, so you don't have to worry about anything. But how many x's can I take up to? I can take up to 2x's. So I'm gonna divide each number by x squared. So x squared, parenthesis. So what you're gonna do is this. 3 minus 2 is 1. Minus 3, and this x squared and x squared will disappear. And I'm gonna delete this one because I don't need it. So this is what you do. This is what I did. So as you can see, I factored out x squared. And if you don't understand this one, I will go over this one a bit more precisely for the next question, okay? And for the next question, next part, if you see negative here, you gotta take out negative no matter what, okay? And then let's try to factor out the GCF, 4 and 12. Which one is smaller number? 4. And let's see what can give 4. 1 times 4 and 2 times 2. Which one of these numbers can get into 12? 4 can get into 12 because 4 times 3 is 12. 2 can also get into 12 because 2 times 6 is 12. But we are trying to find GCF, which stands for the greatest common factor. So you're trying to find common factor. So you are going to take out 4 because 4 is the greatest common factor that 4 and 12 has. So I'm going to take out negative 4, which means I'm going to divide it. Negative 4 and negative 4 will disappear, which you'll get x. And 12 divided by negative 4 is going to be minus 3. So we did the hardest part. Step number 2. Now you're going to factor out the GCF for each binomial again. So do you see this 2? We have this 2 in common. You're going to take this one out because you have this one in common as a factor. And we got the remainder, which is x squared and minus 4. You are going to put them together here inside a parenthesis. Yep. So that's factoring out. Again, minus 3 for each one of them. And that's what you have left over. And can you factor this one further? So x minus 3, you cannot do anything. So you're going to put it this one. But this, you can do difference of square, which is very simple. Set up to parenthesis. Sign is going to be positive and negative. So what can give you x squared? X times x. What can give you 4? 2 times 2. And that's it. That's all you're going to do in this chapter, kind of. Right? It should not be too difficult. So let's do this one together. Okay? I believe this one will make more sense when you do this one. So here, let's try to find GCF. We have a 3 and 4. And for the 3, 1 times 3 can give you 3. Now here's a question. Does 3 goes into 4? Not really. Does 1 goes into 4? Yeah. But 1 does not really affect it, because if you divide by 1, that does not change anything else. So you don't need it. So GCF for this one is going to be 1, but you don't really have to write it because you don't need it. But you can take out something else as a GCF, just like x. We have 3 of them, we have 2 of them. How many x's can I take up to? 2, which means x squared. I cannot take out 3 x's because this one has only 2. I cannot take out x to the third power to someone who has only 2 x's, okay? So I'm going to take out x squared, which means this and this one will become 1. So it's going to be 3x plus x squared, and x squared will disappear, which you're going to get 4. What about this one? Again, I see negative very in front of the line, so I have to take out the negative. What's a smaller number, 27 or 36? 27, obviously, and 1 times, always start with a 1. So these are the numbers that can give you 27. Now, does 27 goes into 36? Not really. Does 9 goes into 36? Yes, because 9 times 4 is 36. And 3 can get into 36 as well, but 9 is bigger, so I'm going to take out 9. So do you see I'm dividing each number by negative 9? So I'm going to divide each number by negative 9. That's factoring out. Negative 27 divided by negative 9 is positive 3x. Negative 36 divided by negative 9 is positive 4. And what you have to be careful is these two numbers should be same. If they are not same, or if they have a different sign, that means you made a mistake somewhere. Okay, that's the next step. Let's factor this one out. And just like last time, let's write down this remainder on a side. And what's the next step? You factor this one out further. X plus 3, x minus 3. And that's it. Very simple. So you should be able to complete these questions by yourself. I will just show you some questions here. I will just go over pretty quickly. So you can pause the video, try it, make a mistake, and learn from it, okay? This one can be something. So 2 and 3. 2 does not go into 3. So this one, you gotta get rid of 1. Because you cannot divide each number by 2. So you're gonna divide with negative 1. Which you get this. Okay. All right, let's do these questions. Now, it says Mr. Kim's favorite. The reason that I say that's my favorite is because I will just go over this question. So you can do the first question because that's easier, I believe. Because that's what you're going to see on the test. So here, let's factor out GCF. What can give you 9? Because they're same number. 1 times 9 and 3 times 3. But isn't it obvious 9 can goes into 9? So you can take out 9. And you can also take out x squared as a GCF. So 9x squared is your GCF. 9x to the third power divided by 9x squared is what? X plus 1. And here you can factor out negative 16 because they're the same number. So you're going to have x plus 1. Okay? And if you simplify this, you're going to get this one. Very easy, right? And yeah, like that. So which one is not a factor? Because that's what question is saying, right? So it's gonna be what? X minus 1. So I think you can try these two questions by yourself as well. Remember this one and this one. If you look at this, smaller number is what? 4. And as you can see, if you factor out the smaller number, 1 times 4 and 2 times 2, what's the small number? 4. And for this one, smaller number is 9, and 9 goes into 27, so I'm gonna divide each number by -9, okay? And when you do it, it's gonna be very simple. I wish I showed this question quicker, because in that case, it's gonna be easier for you guys to understand. Yep, about the GCF, because so many students forgot about GCF from Algebra 1, which I understand. That's a confusing concept to memorize, but you have to feel comfortable with it. So which one is this? D. So try this question out by yourself. It's gonna be D, I believe. Yeah, and I think this one is D as well. So here, that's the last part. I think I stopped teaching due to time. I could not go over this one in class, but it's very simple.